Welcome to U.S. News Source Channel. A new attack record was broken on the Donetsk front. Strong attacks were carried out on the front with Vampire missile systems again. Russian military positions were engulfed in flames. The biggest bombardments of recent years are carried out by the Ukrainian army. Critical points hit with various gear. It was also reported that attacks were launched with HIMARS missile systems. Operations continue with increasing intensity. HIMARS operations have also been launched in Luhansk, another region of Donbass. Ukrainian armed forces have launched a multi-pronged and strategic advance. Many Russian soldiers can be besieged at any moment. Powerful explosions were also reported on the territory of Russia. Belgorod region of Russia has been attacked for several days in a row. More than 500 Russian soldiers were neutralized during the day. Moscow's missile stocks are about to run out. His last trump card is wasted. Operations on the Eastern Front are increasing day by day. Especially in Donetsk, the most severe bombardments of recent years are carried out. These attacks are carried out by the Ukrainian army with Vampire missile systems. It was stated that the most violent attacks of the last 8 years were carried out on this front in the past days. But again, a new record has been set on the front. Ukrainian troops launched hundreds of accurate attacks on Russian military points. This time, record fires were made with mortars, unguided rockets, and Vampire missile systems and 155mm artillery in the attacks carried out. It was even reported that this time, Ukrainian aviation units were accompanied by helicopter attacks. Fact that these moves are carried out in a coordinated manner in many ways shows that these attacks were carried out with strategic plans. At the same time, it is known that attacks are increasing day by day on this front and serious destructions occur at Russian military points. According to the statements, the Russian military positions on this front are being hit by the Ukrainian troops with the MLRS systems and NATO artillery. Russian military areas hit by various cannons are getting irreparable damage with each passing day. This greatly reduces the motivation and attack power of the Russian soldiers at the front. This makes it more difficult for them to achieve success on the front. In addition, the violence of the operations is increasing in the Bakhmut region on this front. In the last few days, large-scale operations have been launched by the Ukrainian army against Russian military points in this region. Intense conflict and destruction of Russian military areas in the region are increasing day by day. Moreover, artillery attacks are constantly being carried out mutually in this region, which can advance many regions due to its location. It was also reported that attacks were launched with HIMARS missile systems in this region. According to the statements, especially in the last 3 to 4 days, Russian military points in this region have been hit. It is stated that these systems are equipped with more than 180,000 strike units, can reach speeds of approximately 200 meters per second and can continuously hit targets within 100 radius with M30 missiles. It was also stated that an unmanned aerial vehicle recorded the clashes in the region. According to the images, HIMARS missile systems are located in this Bakhmut region and are constantly used for targeted points. In addition, despite various obstacles such as trenches in the geographical features of the region, attacks with these missile systems cannot be prevented. Russian soldiers, who have suffered the greatest losses in this region since the beginning of the war, are still trying their luck at the front. Reason for this is thought to be the pressure on them. While every step becomes critical due to the importance of the region, it can sometimes become a necessity for Russia to take a step back. Previously, when the Russian soldiers suffered serious defeats, the commanders were dismissed and replaced by new ones. Even this was seen as a solution, but the errors persist. Wrong moves of the Russian soldiers and their commanders on the fronts continue to increase the losses. Despite this, persistent moves in some regions make defeats inevitable. As can be seen, the Russian army is having more and more difficulties in achieving success in many such regions. Moreover, according to the statements, additional Ukrainian soldiers will come to the region. If this happens, the Russian forces will have no chance. This may require a complete retreat from the front. It has been reported that strong moves have been launched with the increase of operations on the Luhansk front right next to it. Ukrainian troops in the region began operations in the Perevalsk region using HIMARS missile systems. It was reported that Russian military points were hit with 5 HIMARS multiple rocket launch systems at night. Then, one after another, powerful explosions occurred. As a result of the explosions, flames rose from the Russian ammunition. Military equipment was seriously damaged. Moreover, it was reported that attacks were launched on the Novoselivska region, which is further away after this region. These moves show that the Ukrainian army has made a simultaneous advance in strategically different directions on this front as well. At any moment, even a big siege can be made against the Russian soldiers on this front. Moreover, the war is not only limited to the territory of Ukraine. Explosions continue in critical border regions of Russia. After Russia's infrastructure attacks, the Ukrainian leader vowed revenge. Then, for the first time, attacks were carried out on Russian territory. Especially in border areas like Belgorod, Russian military and industrial points have started to become targets. Again, it was stated that explosions occurred in the Belgorod region. Kyiv did not take responsibility for the attacks. However, the reason why industrial points are targeted besides military points is known. Reason is to ensure that spare parts of military equipment are not produced and flowed. As it is known, Moscow, which has lost serious military resources on the fronts, has to repair its existing resources. Moreover, since it cannot supply spare parts due to the sanctions, it is trying to achieve this with the means in the country. If these areas are also reduced, it may be a matter of time before serious military resource problems erupt. Moreover, the Ukrainian army continues to increase the losses of Russia with its accurate moves on the fronts. This time, the Ukrainian Air Force carried out 9 attacks on the areas where the weapons and military equipment of the Russian troops are located, and 3 attacks on the positions of the Russian anti-aircraft missile systems. Ukrainian rocket and artillery units struck a Russian command post, a counter-battery radar station and 2 ammunition storage points, inflicting serious damage. Reasons for hitting these points are either to break the communication between the Russian soldiers or to reduce the existing military resources even more so that there is a decrease in the operational forces. As a result of the many moves of the Ukrainian troops, the Russian troops lost 5 artillery systems, 6 armored combat vehicles, 8 unmanned aerial vehicles, 1 air defense system, more than 10 vehicles and tankers during the day. At the same time, more than 500 Russian soldiers were neutralized during the day. Russia's total loss of troops reached 99,000. At this rate, it is seen that this loss of soldiers will reach up to 100,000 in the near future. One of the biggest mistakes of Moscow, which has made strategic mistakes since the beginning of the war, is that it is willing to suffer losses for attacks on infrastructures. But Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council Secretary Alexei Danilov reported that Russia now only has enough missiles to launch 3 to 4 major missile attacks. Russia's missile stocks are about to run out. According to Danilov, Russia can allocate some of it as a reserve in order not to be completely without missiles. However, this still shows that Russia is trying its last chances in attacks. At the same time, Danilov reported that how to destroy the Iranian-made drones used by Russia against Ukrainian infrastructures was resolved. Recently, it is seen that Ukrainian air defense units have dropped many aircraft and missiles at a high rate. As these successes increase, the airstrikes that Russia tries as a last resort will be completely in vain. For this, it is of great importance to increase the defense systems for Kyiv and to deliver them faster. It has now become imperative for both countries to choose their advances carefully. In the long run, the strategic decisions of the country's leaders will be more critical. If these accurate operations of the Ukrainian troops continue, serious advantages will be gained on the fronts. Now, every step taken has to be taken in line with much more strategic goals. Otherwise, the losses will become irrecoverable. We'll see what happens in the next few days. We have reached the end of another video. You can support us by liking the video. You can easily follow new videos by subscribing. I wish you all a war-free day. See you.